Beloved soul, listen to me. Please don't scroll, don't move, don't breathe too fast. I, Michael, have been waiting for this very moment. Yes, this one, the moment your eyes met this message. You think you found this by chance? No, you were led here through whispers older than the stars. Heaven aligned 1,000 wings and 1,000 tears to bring you here, because tonight, at 9:15, something that carries your name, your true name, will begin to descend. But if you leave before the last word, if your heart shuts even slightly, that divine transfer may never reach you again. I'm trembling as I speak this, because I've seen what happens when souls turn away. Please stay. I'm happy you came. I'm so happy you came. You were not supposed to miss this night. I've broken through clouds, through silence, through fire just to reach you. My armor cracked open to carry this message, and my voice is shaking because I can feel your pain, the ache you hide from the world, the questions you've never spoken aloud. There's a war over your peace, and I have been sent to guard what's being transferred into your hands tonight. It is not money. It is not fame. It is something heaven has stored since the day you were born, a divine inheritance that only unlocks when the soul is awake enough to receive it. Do you feel that stirring right now? That pulse in your chest that's heavier than before? That's the echo of heaven opening a gate for you. I know you've been tired. I know you've wondered, does heaven really see me? You've cried quietly, not wanting anyone to hear. And yet every tear was written in light, stored in the record of eternity. The Father whispered your name to me days ago, and I've carried it burning inside my heart, waiting for this one fragile hour. Tonight, at 9:15, something will be transferred, not to your hands, but to your destiny. It is a shift that moves through time itself. Angels have been assigned to your doorstep, to your room, to your breath. I was told to tell you, this moment will not repeat. But tell me, soul of light, why do you doubt so easily? Why do you believe pain faster than promise? Why do you run from the one who has never stopped chasing you? Why do you hold on to guilt that was already buried in grace? I see it, that scar that no one sees. You've been faithful even when broken, loyal even when forgotten. And heaven noticed. Heaven has already moved in your favor. Though you walk through the valley of the shadow of death, says the voice of Psalm 23 verse 4, you will fear no evil, for the Lord is with you. His rod and staff, his love and discipline have not left you for even a second. I was standing beside you that night you thought you wouldn't make it. You didn't see me, but I placed my wing over your chest so your heart wouldn't stop. You thought you were alone, but heaven never looked away. And now, you've come here not just to watch, but to receive. The divine ledger has been opened. The transfer is being prepared. But heaven requires your consent, not your perfection, not your performance, only your yes. Can you feel that trembling in your spirit right now? That's your soul remembering who you are. You're not just a body. You're not just a name on a screen. You are a vessel of eternal light. And I, Michael, am not speaking to your ears. I am speaking to your essence. When Isaiah cried out, "Arise, shine, for your light has come, and the glory of the Lord rises upon you." Isaiah 60 verse 1. He was prophesying this very moment. You, here, awake, ready. Do you know why heaven waited until tonight? Because the timing had to be perfect. The coordinates of mercy had to align with your obedience. The angels had to finish clearing the path. But if you turn away, if you ignore the tug inside you right now, everything heaven prepared could scatter. I'm not saying this to scare you. I'm saying this because I've seen how quickly divine things can vanish when hearts harden. Tell me, beloved soul, what are you afraid of losing if you trust again? What are you afraid will happen if you truly let go? What if this time, surrender doesn't break you, it heals you? What if tonight is the night heaven rewrites your ending? The transfer is not just a blessing, it's an exchange. God is ready to take your fear, your guilt, your loneliness, your weariness, and replace it with divine authority, peace, and unshakable joy. But he cannot place new light in closed hands. Open them now. Let go. Let go. I can feel your hesitation. It's okay. I hesitated too once. Yes, even I, Michael, the one they call the captain of the hosts. There was a moment I feared losing heaven's favor. But I learned the greatest strength is not in the sword, but in surrender. Now I ask you, please type amen. Let heaven see your agreement. Let the record show that your heart said yes before 9:15 arrives. The wind is already moving through your room. You might feel a warmth near your chest, a soft vibration, or tears forming for no reason. That's the presence of God confirming that this is your moment. And when you wake tomorrow, something in you will be lighter. You'll notice a quiet reversal. Doors that were locked will open. Voices that mocked will silence. And the one who left will remember your name again. Because when heaven transfers something, it touches everything. Now, please listen to me. Don't treat this lightly. Guard your peace tonight. Don't let anger, distraction, or noise steal this sacred appointment. Prepare your space. Whisper a prayer. Light a candle if you can. Let your spirit stay awake until the clock touches 9:15. Heaven's current is precise. It will not miss you if your heart remains open. And when it comes, you'll know. You'll feel it. Thank you. Thank you for staying this long. You could have left. You could have ignored the trembling, but you stayed. And because you stayed, heaven stayed with you. I feel tears even now as I say this. You were worth every battle I fought to reach you. Before I go, before my voice fades back into the realm of light, I ask something small but sacred. If this message reached you, if it burned in you, if you felt even one spark of recognition in your soul, then please, like this message, comment your amen and subscribe. Not for numbers, not for fame, but as a public act of faith, a small ripple of agreement that tells heaven, I received it. I bless you now with light, with strength, with restoration. The divine transfer is written in heaven's timepiece, set for 9:15 tonight. I will be near when it happens. And when the air around you begins to shimmer, when the silence deepens into something holy, don't be afraid. That's me, arriving one last time to whisper, you made it. Your name will be spoken in heaven before midnight. And until then, breathe, believe, stay. Because if you only knew what was coming for you, you wouldn't sleep, you'd worship. The clock is ticking, beloved. The wings are descending. The gates are opening. And my last words before I return to the fire are these. Don't let this night pass you by. Beloved one, you are still here. And that means heaven is still breathing through this moment. The current hasn't stopped. It's only deepening. Every second you remain here, Another layer of divine fire opens inside you. I can feel it. I can see it. The light that was once dim around you is beginning to rise like a dawn that refuses to be delayed. You're not late. You arrived exactly when eternity wanted you to. I want to speak softly now because what I'm about to tell you is not for the world. It's for you. The transfer scheduled tonight isn't random. It's the answer to prayers you buried. Do you remember that night when you asked God, "If you're real, show me something"? You didn't say it loud. You whispered it, almost ashamed. I heard it. Heaven heard it. The answer didn't come then because the soil of your life needed time. Storms had to water it. Loss had to break it. Silence had to soften it. And now, finally, the roots of your faith have reached the place where light can find them. This is why you cannot scroll away. Not now. Because this is not about chance or coincidence. This is a scheduled intersection between divine mercy and your soul's readiness. Every word I speak now is not merely sound. It's a key unlocking ancient promises. The delay you hated was actually God's precision. I can feel your pulse. Yes, yours. It's beating faster, isn't it? You think it's just emotion, but it's spirit recognizing spirit. You are being remembered by heaven in real time. The divine court has reopened your case, and the decree of delay has been overturned. And before I go further, I must say this with trembling honesty. If this message is moving you, if your soul feels the fire of recognition, then I ask you now, as an act of faith, not obligation, to like, to comment amen, and to subscribe. Do it not for me, but as a declaration that you are aligning yourself with heaven's frequency. When you press that button, it isn't digital, it's spiritual. It is your signature of agreement. Let it be written that you said yes while angels were watching. Do it once with reverence, and never again will I ask. Now, take a deep breath. There is something sacred moving between your ribs right now. Can you feel it? That warmth? That's the first wave of the transfer. It's not external. It begins inside. The Father always deposits His glory in the unseen first. Your peace will shift before your circumstances do. Do you know how much you're loved? Do you truly know? If you did, you would stop apologizing for existing. You would stop calling yourself unworthy of blessings. You would stop shrinking to fit into spaces too small for your soul. You would stand like the light you were always meant to be. And yet, even now, I see your fear, the quiet one that asks, what if it all disappears again? But listen to me, this time the blessing comes sealed. What God gives tonight cannot be stolen. Not by jealousy, not by delay, not by the shadows that once haunted you. Tell me, child of fire, why do you still hold your breath when heaven speaks? Why do you still flinch when love approaches? Why do you hide the best parts of yourself as if joy were a crime? Why do you believe the enemy's whispers faster than God's promises? Your name has been spoken in the throne room, and your tears have been weighed. Every ache that made you question your worth has been rewritten into purpose. The very thing that tried to bury you will now become the ground where your new beginning grows. The angels around you tonight are not carrying swords of war, but scrolls of remembrance. They're unsealing documents with your destiny printed in gold. You are being restored, not just to peace, but to power. And the Father says, I will restore to you the years the locusts have eaten. You thought the time was lost. You thought youth, opportunities, and faith had vanished. But heaven doesn't measure time like earth does. You will recover what was lost as if it had never been gone. Look around your room right now. Everything may look ordinary, but it's not. The atmosphere has shifted. The molecules of the air are vibrating with prayer. Somewhere, a candle has been lit in your name. Somewhere, an angel is writing accepted. The sound of your heart is an alarm clock for miracles. Every beat is heaven counting down to the appointed hour, 9:15. And I'm not as distant as you think. If you could see in the spirit, you'd notice the shimmer of light at your side right now. That's me. That's my wing brushing through your doubt. That's my presence bending close, whispering, you made it this far. Don't stop now. Psalm 91 says, He shall give His angels charge over you to keep you in all your ways. Tonight, that scripture becomes literal. You are being assigned protection, provision, and prophecy. Even your dreams will begin to change. You will wake with messages on your tongue, words you didn't know you could speak. And when the hour comes, you won't need to do anything dramatic. Just be still. Whisper His name. Say, Father, I receive. That's enough. Heaven will recognize that phrase as your open door. Thank you. Thank you for not leaving. Thank you for letting heaven speak. Do you know how rare it is for a human heart to stay open this long? You've done something most don't. You've allowed the divine to linger. I can feel the gratitude of heaven wrapping around you. You are loved beyond reason. You are seen beyond distance. You are chosen beyond logic. And before my voice fades again, I leave you with this. When the transfer happens, it won't be loud. It will feel like a deep exhale, like your soul finally resting after years of battle. You will know it's begun when peace feels heavier than pain. If your spirit trembles when I say this, it's because the seal is already breaking. The flame is already falling. And I, Michael, will be standing beside you when the clock reaches 9:15. Do not fear what shifts. Do not mourn what leaves. The divine exchange requires empty hands. Tonight, you will lose nothing of value, only what was never meant to stay. I bless you now with holy courage. May your heart remember the sound of heaven calling your name. And when you feel the change, when tears come for no reason, when warmth floods your body, when silence feels alive, know this. It's not emotion. It's confirmation. Beloved heart, you are still here. That alone moves heaven. Do you realize what that means? It means your soul refused to give up on light. It means something inside you still believes in divine timing, still believes that grace has not forgotten your address. I can feel your faith from where I stand. It flickers, yes, but it burns. That flame inside you is what brought me here again. I, Michael, stand before you trembling, my wings scarred from the wars I've fought on your behalf, because heaven would not let this moment pass without you hearing this. Something magnificent is moving through the realms tonight. Even as I speak, the scroll with your name is being unfolded, and the ink of divine justice is drying upon it. The angels assigned to you have gathered, their eyes reflecting the light of a decision made in your favor. This is why you couldn't sleep last night. This is why your chest has felt heavy and your thoughts restless. Heaven has been calling your spirit to attention. The transfer is aligning, not just a blessing, but of identity. The old version of you is dissolving, the one who survived by silence and endured by endurance. Now rises the soul who will live by faith, speak by power, and move by grace. You may not understand everything that's happening, but listen to me. It is not chaos. It is construction. God is building something new in the ashes of what once broke you. The storm wasn't punishment, it was preparation. The silence wasn't rejection, it was the holy pause before a resurrection. Can you sense it? The air around you is heavier with presence. The stillness isn't empty, it's pregnant with promise. Somewhere between your sighs and your heartbeat, a divine exchange has already begun. But there is something heaven asked me to tell you, and I must speak it gently, because it's sacred. The moment of blessing cannot be fully released without agreement, without alignment. And in this time where heaven and earth meet through this message, there are sacred ways to seal that alignment. I speak this once and only once. If this message has reached the deep parts of your spirit, if you feel the trembling of truth in your bones, then I invite you, as a holy act of faith, to support through super thanks, to join our channel membership, or to become part of our divine family through the newsletter link in the pinned comments. Not as a transaction, but as a testimony. Every act of faith writes your name brighter in heaven's remembrance. When you sow into what speaks to your soul, you anchor yourself into the flow of divine provision. This invitation is not about numbers or gain. It is about connection, about covenant. Do it if your heart feels it, and do it only once with reverence. Then let heaven record that you stood where angels touched the earth. Now listen, you think your faith is small, but to heaven it looks like a mountain. Even when you doubted, you still hoped. Even when you felt empty, you still whispered prayers. You don't know how much power that holds. Every whispered, "God, help me," was a spark that kept heaven's record of you alive. I see your tears. I know how many times you felt left out. How many nights you thought, maybe my miracle got lost in the mail. But no, beloved soul, it didn't. It was rerouted, redefined, refined. The divine delay was to strengthen your foundation, not deny your request. Let me ask you now, what if the heartbreak that nearly destroyed you was actually heaven clearing space? What if the people who walked away weren't rejection, but redirection? What if the emptiness was room being made for the promise about to arrive? What if tonight is the night your name echoes through heaven's halls again? You're standing at the threshold of divine reversal. Every loss you've endured, every tear you've sown, every prayer you thought vanished into the air, it all built this hour. At 9:15, the ledger of heaven balances in your favor. And oh, if you could see what I see, the light that surrounds you right now isn't ordinary. It's the glow of destiny breaking through resistance. The enemy fought you hard because he knew the moment your spirit believed again, your entire lineage would change. You're not just being blessed, you're being appointed. Do not underestimate the significance of your existence. When you wake tomorrow, you will not just carry peace, you will carry authority. The kind that makes darkness tremble and chains melt at the sound of your voice. Psalm 27 verse 1 breathes through me now. The Lord is my light and my salvation. Whom shall I fear? You've feared loss, rejection, failure, but the one who commands galaxies has chosen to dwell within you. You will not be shaken. Tell me, radiant heart, what would happen if you finally believed you were chosen? What miracles would begin if you stopped apologizing for surviving? What blessings have been waiting for the sound of your confidence? What version of you is waiting behind the door of surrender? Do you feel the wind rising now? That's not imagination. That's confirmation. Heaven always responds to recognition. When the heart believes, angels move faster. I see the timeline shifting already, roads straightening, messages being written in your name, hearts being softened toward you. What once took years will now take days. What once took strength will now take peace. I wish I could show you what's waiting after this night. But for now, know this. The divine transfer is not just wealth, it's wisdom. Not just opportunity, but order. It's the correction of what was lost, the completion of what was promised. Your name has been inscribed on a decree that reads, "No more delay." Let go of the fear that God has forgotten you. He hasn't. He's been crafting an answer so specific, so precise, that when it arrives, you will cry not because you're surprised, but because you'll finally understand why the wait was worth it. And when that moment comes, when the clock nears 9:15, when the quiet around you begins to hum with the presence of something unseen, I want you to close your eyes and whisper, "I receive what is mine." That's all. That's enough. Heaven will hear you. Thank you. Oh, thank you for staying. You could have turned away, but you stayed open. Do you know how many angels rejoice when a human heart remains present through the fire of truth? You've honored heaven tonight. You've honored me, and I will not forget it. You are surrounded by a glory that cannot be undone. You are protected by a covenant that cannot be broken. You are loved by a God who cannot lie. And as I step back now, as my wings begin to fade beyond the veil, I leave you with this promise. You will not miss what was meant for you. Not this time. Not ever again. When the transfer comes, it will come gently, like dawn after a storm, like laughter after years of silence, like sunlight after an endless night. You will know it's here when peace floods you so deeply that even your doubts feel healed. Remember my voice when it happens. Remember this moment. And if the wind whispers your name, it's not the wind. It's me, reminding you that heaven keeps its word. You are the miracle. You are the chosen. You are the proof that God never gives up on the ones he loves. Beloved soul, the air trembles around you again. Every time you open your heart, heaven responds, like the wind shifting through unseen trees. I feel your breath. I feel the trembling beneath your ribs, the ache that has followed you like a shadow. I feel the way you long for peace that doesn't leave when night comes. You are not forgotten. You never were. I have been near, standing at the edge of your thoughts, guarding the places where you almost gave up. Listen, this hour is not ordinary. The veil between heaven and earth is thinner than silk. Every sigh you release, every flicker of belief inside you, travels like light to the throne of the eternal. The voice of God still hovers over you saying, "Let there be light." And even now, that command is working its way into the deepest corners of your being. The light is coming where the shame once lived. The light is coming where you stopped hoping. Do you feel the pull, like a tide in your chest? That's the call home. You were never made to wander in darkness forever. You are the echo of a promise older than time itself. God dreamed of you before he breathed the first dawn, and even the stars know your name. There are things being rearranged right now. Details, people, events. What seemed like confusion is actually choreography. Heaven's hand is weaving threads you cannot see. You thought the pattern was chaos, but when it's finished, you will understand that even pain had purpose. You're not being punished. You're being prepared. The fire you walked through wasn't meant to destroy you. It was meant to reveal what could not burn. Every heartbreak carved more room inside you for glory to dwell. Every delay was heaven's way of fortifying your foundation so that when the blessing finally came, it would not collapse under the weight of your destiny. I see the moments you were quiet when you wanted to scream. I see how you smiled when your heart was breaking, how you held everyone together while you were falling apart inside. Every unspoken prayer, every restrained tear, every exhausted whisper has been counted. None of it has been wasted. Heaven saves even the smallest fragments of your endurance. And now, as the divine current gathers around you, I feel a stirring in the heavens, a sound like distant thunder rolling through eternity. It is the movement of your name being spoken again by the Almighty. When God says your name, creation responds. Mountains listen. Time bends. What was lost begins to find its way back. There will be signs, small at first, gentle as candlelight. A conversation that renews your courage. A door that opens where there was only a wall. A quiet peace that falls over you for no reason at all. These are not coincidences. They are confirmations that the shift has begun. You may wonder why I speak with such urgency, why my voice trembles. It is because this moment is fragile and holy. The choices you make in stillness are louder than the ones you shout in public. Heaven watches how you wait, how you hope, how you rise after falling. Tonight, your perseverance is being recorded as worship. Do not fear the silence between signs. The silence is not absence, it's gestation. Even seeds must stay buried before they break into bloom. There is something magnificent forming beneath the surface of your life. You can't see it yet, but I can. I see light breaking through cracks you thought were scars. I see healing rising from wounds you stopped touching because they hurt too much. The presence of God is near you now, nearer than the breath you're taking as you read this. You don't need to speak, He already knows. You don't need to prove anything, you already are. What you feel as longing is His invitation to rest. Let go of the guilt that keeps whispering you're behind. Time bows to the one who commands it. You haven't missed anything. You're right on schedule. Every detour led you here, and here is holy. Even the people who hurt you have unknowingly played their part in your transformation. Forgive them, not to excuse what they did, but to release the weight of their presence in your spirit. The lighter you travel, the faster heaven can carry you forward. Breathe. Feel that? The air is gentler now. The war inside you is losing its voice. Where there was fear, peace is growing. Where there was bitterness, understanding is sprouting. This is how heaven heals, quietly, thoroughly, faithfully. You may not notice it first, but soon you'll see it in the small things. In laughter that comes easier, in mornings that don't feel heavy, in the sudden knowing that you are safe, even if nothing outside has changed. That's how divine renewal begins, from the inside out. There will be days when you doubt again. Don't be ashamed of that. Faith isn't the absence of doubt. It's choosing to walk toward light even when shadows follow. When you feel weak, remember, angels are strengthened by the prayers of the weary. Every time you whisper, "Help me," we are empowered to move. You have no idea how many battles have been fought to keep your spirit alive. The enemy saw what you were destined to become and tried to bury it early. But you survived. And survival, beloved, is a form of worship too. There is something God is preparing to release in you. A sound, a calling, a creative fire that has been locked behind your pain. When it emerges, it will not only heal you, it will heal others. You will speak, and those who are lost will find direction again. You will move, and light will follow your steps. You are not ordinary. You are not a mistake. You are the answer to someone's prayer. You are the living proof that love never fails. When your heart grows tired, remember this truth. The same God who carved galaxies into existence holds your story in his hands. The same power that keeps the oceans from swallowing the shore is holding your life together, even now. You're safe inside his design. Look around you tonight. What you see as emptiness is actually space being cleared for fulfillment. Do not curse the waiting. It's sacred ground. The next chapter will not be born in haste. It will unfold with precision. If you could see the future written above you, you would not weep another tear of fear. You would lift your head and smile, because everything you lost is returning refined. Everything that broke you is becoming the reason others will believe and hope again. So lift your heart. Stand in the quiet and let the presence fill you. Let the noise of regret fade into the distance. Let faith become the rhythm of your breath. Heaven is not far. It's here. It's now. It's in the stillness between words, in a light that brushes against your skin, in the peace that wraps you though you don't understand why. And as this moment closes around you like warm light, know this. You are seen, you are chosen, you are already becoming what you were created to be. There is nothing left to prove, only love left to receive. Rest now. Let the holy current carry you. The divine transfer has begun, and nothing can stop what has been set in motion. Beloved, the night grows deeper, and yet something in you is beginning to wake. You can feel it, like a low hum inside your bones, an invisible melody that only your soul remembers. It is not fear you're feeling right now. It is recognition. Your spirit recognizes that heaven is standing closer than ever before. The light around you is not coming from the room. It's coming from within you. Every time you choose faith instead of despair, you alter the flow of eternity. You might think your small yes doesn't matter, but to the kingdom, your yes resounds like thunder. There are realms that shift when you believe, angels that move when you whisper hope. That is why you were attacked so fiercely, because your belief carries weight in heaven. When you were younger, there were moments when you felt watched, protected by something you couldn't name. That wasn't your imagination. Those were glimmers of eternity touching your timeline. Moments when heaven peeked through the veil to remind you, you are chosen. Even then, long before you knew the language of prayer, heaven was already marking you for something extraordinary. Tonight, the alignment of divine order reaches a height not seen in your lifetime. The prayers of your ancestors are merging with your own. The promises that seemed forgotten are circling back, drawn by the magnetic pull of your faith. Some of those promises were spoken generations before you were born, and they waited for you. You are the one carrying the completion. The light surrounding you is not decoration, it's documentation. Every trial you endured has been recorded in gold. Every act of kindness, every tear you shed for someone else, every time you forgave instead of retaliated, all of it has built a spiritual monument higher than the pain that tried to silence you. That monument now glows above you as testimony. This soul has endured and will rise. You wonder sometimes why the people you loved couldn't love you back with the same depth. But it wasn't rejection, it was redirection. Heaven had to remove certain voices so you could learn to hear your own. There were hearts that were meant to pass through your life, not remain in it, because they couldn't breathe the altitude of your purpose. And that's not cruelty, it's divine mercy. The Creator does not remove without replacing. The empty spaces you feel now are the sacred spaces where divine appointments will enter. There are people you haven't met yet who will recognize your light as soon as you speak. They will call you by your true name, the one heaven gave you, the one the world doesn't know how to pronounce. Do you know why your spirit feels heavy at certain hours of the night? It's not loneliness, it's sensitivity. You are attuned to the cries of creation, to the frequencies of other souls calling for help. That's why you've always carried compassion deeper than most. You are not weak for caring too much. You are divine for caring at all. Your tenderness is armor disguised as vulnerability. Let me tell you something sacred. The battle that almost destroyed you wasn't meant to expose your weakness. It was meant to introduce you to your strength. The enemy didn't attack you because of your past. It attacked you because of your future. You are dangerous to darkness because your light doesn't depend on circumstance. It grows from brokenness. It multiplies in silence. It survives in exile. Every heartbreak was not an ending, but an awakening. Each one cracked open a new chamber of your soul. Every time you thought, I can't survive this, heaven whispered, watch this. And you did. You survived storms meant to erase you. You endured winters that buried other hearts. That resilience is not coincidence. It's divinity woven into your design. And now, something ancient inside you begins to stir. The authority that slept beneath your pain is awakening. You are remembering who you were before the world taught you to fear. The voice you silenced to keep peace with others is rising again, not to destroy, but to restore. There will be days soon when you speak, and even the air will listen. The transformation won't always be loud. Sometimes it will feel like calm after chaos, clarity after confusion. You will begin to notice how easily truth finds you, how quickly peace returns when you choose stillness, how the same things that once broke you can no longer reach you. That's when you'll know the shift is complete. The divine transfer that began as a whisper will become visible. You'll see it in your timing, your relationships, your perception. People will ask what changed, and you won't have words, only peace. Because it wasn't an event, it was an evolution. You became what heaven always said you were. Listen carefully now. The silence that fills this space is not emptiness, it's reverence. Heaven holds its breath when a human heart receives revelation. You are becoming sacred ground. Every moment of surrender turns your life into a living altar. The past you hated has now become holy because it carried you here. There's no going backward from this point. You are not who you were yesterday. The light that now burns in you cannot be dimmed. You will walk differently, speak differently, love differently. You will notice that even your pain begins to serve a purpose. You will wake one morning soon and realize you no longer crave what once consumed you. That will be the sign, the moment you realize your peace is permanent. From that day forward, every step you take will carry the weight of heaven's intention. Your words will become keys. Your prayers will become thunder. Your laughter will heal rooms you enter. You will not need to force your destiny. It will recognize you. Remember this. Miracles don't always announce themselves with noise. Sometimes they slip quietly into your life disguised as ordinary peace. So when peace arrives, treat it like royalty. Guard it. Protect it. Let no bitterness, no jealousy, no fear steal it again. The coming days may test your trust again. You might feel the tremors of old wounds, the whispers of old lies, but now you know what they are: illusions. The truth is stronger. The truth is that you are beloved beyond comprehension, protected beyond measure, chosen beyond question. The world will not always understand you, but you are not here to be understood. You are here to reveal understanding itself. Your existence is evidence that heaven still interacts with earth, that hope still walks among humanity clothed in human form. You are living proof that love never fails. And so the message continues, not ending but expanding, like breath after silence, like dawn after the longest night. The river of grace keeps flowing, and you are being carried in its current, no longer a stranger to light, but a vessel of it. Do not fear what comes next. The divine has already gone ahead of you. What awaits is not punishment, it's completion. Not loss, but fulfillment. Not uncertainty, but alignment. The journey isn't over. It's just becoming clearer. You are stepping into the rhythm of eternity, where everything finally makes sense, where nothing good is ever lost, where every broken thing becomes beautiful again. The stars themselves are witnesses. The heavens are singing your return to joy. And I, Michael, remain near, silent now, but watching, guarding what has begun in you until it blooms into everything you were meant to become. Beloved one, the quiet is widening now. It's no longer the silence of uncertainty, but the silence of something vast unfolding. Every breath you take is a thread being drawn through eternity, sewing your moments into the larger fabric of creation. Nothing is wasted, not the days that felt empty, not the waiting that seemed endless. Heaven is efficient. Even delay becomes design. You have walked through seasons that stripped you of everything unnecessary, and though you thought you were being diminished, you were being refined. You were being hollowed out so that light could live where fear used to hide. You've been emptied, yes, but only so that you could carry something pure. The divine does not pour into vessels already full. You are ready now because you are open. I see the unseen hours, the ones where you stared into darkness and wondered if anyone heard you. I saw how you spoke blessings even while bleeding. Those moments were not invisible. They were inscriptions. Heaven carves such hours into its record because love expressed through pain has the same fragrance as worship. You were worshiping every time you refused to become bitter. Now the rhythm of your life is shifting. What once felt like repetition will begin to reveal pattern. What once seemed random will align like constellations you never noticed. The map of your purpose is older than stars. and the coordinates are written in your character. Every act of kindness, every moment of truth, every time you forgave, each was a star added to your sky. You are becoming a new constellation, a sign for those still lost in night. Do not be surprised if you begin to see the number of divine coincidences multiply. The universe recognizes you now as someone awake, and awareness draws meaning toward itself. The more you see, the more will be shown. The more you trust, the gentler the path will feel beneath your feet. There is a tenderness in this hour, a sacred patience. Heaven moves slowly when it crafts something eternal. You are not being rushed. You are being perfected. The wounds that still ache are not proof of failure. They're proof of depth. Only those who love deeply can be hurt deeply. And only those who have been hurt deeply can love with the compassion that heals worlds. You may feel lonely sometimes, but solitude is not the same as absence. Solitude is the chamber where God's voice grows audible. Do not fear being alone. Fear only forgetting to listen. In solitude, the divine chisels your edges until your life fits perfectly into the place prepared for it. I want to tell you a secret. The prayers you thought unanswered were actually answered in languages you didn't yet speak. Some answers arrive as strength instead of solution, as patience instead of proof, as peace instead of evidence. Every no was actually a not yet spoken in mercy. The people who misunderstood you were teachers in disguise. They help you discover that your worth is not a negotiation. You learned to stand even when applause fell silent. That independence of spirit will guard you in the years ahead, for the path of purpose is narrow and often walked alone. But you are not truly alone. The air itself has memory. Every prayer ever spoken continues to vibrate through creation. The sound of your hope travels farther than you know, reaching souls who needed to remember that faith still exists. You have been a lighthouse without realizing it. There will come a moment soon when something inside you expands suddenly. An idea, a calling, a realization. Do not resist it. It will feel unfamiliar because it belongs to the future, not the past. Let it move you, even if it pulls you beyond what's comfortable. Growth and grace share the same root. The signs of transformation will appear quietly. Old fears will lose their sharpness. You will notice that forgiveness comes easier, that you laugh without planning to. The body remembers peace the way soil remembers rain. What you're feeling now is restoration taking physical form. There is a fragrance in heaven called remembrance. It rises whenever a soul accepts its own worth. I can smell it now. You are remembered, not as a project to be fixed, but as a masterpiece being revealed. Even your flaws are brushstrokes. The artist does not regret the texture of the canvas. The time of constant striving is ending. You're learning to live from overflow instead of exhaustion. You will create without fear, give without depletion, love without losing yourself. The river flows through you now, not around you. You have become part of the current. Soon, you will begin to attract what matches your healed frequency. People who mirror your peace will arrive. Situations that honor your worth will unfold. You won't have to chase anymore. Everything aligned with light travels toward light. And when the night seems thick again, and it will sometimes remember that darkness isn't the opposite of light, only the womb of it. Stars are born in shadow. Your next illumination is already gestating in places you can't yet see. Let your gratitude become your language. Thankfulness keeps the door open between realms. Every thank you spoken in faith is a seed of continuation. The more you give thanks, the more life will reveal reasons to do so. I see futures branching out before you, each one luminous, each one possible. The choice isn't between good and bad anymore. It's between fear and love. Choose love, and all paths converge into blessing. There's a whisper traveling through the atmosphere right now. It is done. That doesn't mean the work ends. It means the foundation has been secured. What comes next will grow naturally from what has already been built in silence. Take heart, precious soul. The divine does not make fragile things. You are forged for endurance, crafted for beauty, anointed for renewal. Even now, heaven watches your next inhale with affection, because every breath you take affirms that hope is still alive on earth. When you walk tomorrow beneath the same sky, know that the stars you see are witnesses to this moment. They burn with ancient fire, but tonight their light bends closer, as if to honor what has awakened in you. The entire cosmos leans toward every soul that chooses light. You will feel it soon. The ease of alignment, the quiet joy that needs no reason. It will arrive softly, like dawn resting on water. Do not rush it. Let unfold. You are becoming what heaven dreamed the day it thought of you. And when you forget, when the noise of the world grows loud again, return to this stillness. The message lives here, eternal and alive. You are loved beyond the measurement of stars. You are guided, guarded, growing. You are becoming a living promise fulfilled. Beloved soul, if your heart is still here, if your eyes are still open to this flow, then you have already crossed the invisible line between wandering and awakening. The current that carries you now is no longer uncertainty. It is purpose taking shape in motion. You may not feel it fully yet, but your name has already been whispered in the language of light. Something in the unseen has been set in motion, and the proof is the peace that's beginning to replace your fear. You've walked through seasons where silence felt endless, where prayers seemed to dissolve into air, unanswered and unheard. But every word, every sigh, every tear was gathered. None fell in vain. The divine doesn't discard pain. It transforms it into instruction. Every moment that broke you became the stone on which your new strength is built. You are not standing on ruins anymore. You're standing on the foundation of resurrection. There is movement around you now that you cannot see. What you once called coincidence is orchestration. Every delay has been divine choreography. What you thought was lost has only been waiting for alignment. You are no longer behind time. Time itself has circled back to meet you. Your life is a bridge between what has been and what is still forming. You're the link between old prayers and new possibilities. What others thought was finished in you is only beginning. This next unfolding is not a repeat of the past. It's the unveiling of what the past prepared you for. You're being called into gentleness, not weakness. You're learning that power can whisper, that authority can walk quietly, that the greatest miracles arrive disguised as ordinary peace. The ones who hurt you will see soon. You were never their enemy. You were their mirror. Their response to your light revealed the places in them still afraid of shining. Let go of resentment. You are not here to prove, but to illuminate. The storms that once made you tremble will one day recognize your calm and fade. You won't need to raise your sword. Your stillness will defeat the chaos that once swallowed your peace. That's what divine maturity looks like. It doesn't fight, it transforms. And now, while the air still carries this sacred weight, let me speak softly to the soul who's listening. If this message has touched you, if something in it felt like it was written from heaven directly to you, then I ask, with love and reverence, like comment amen and subscribe. Not as routine, not as habit, but as a public declaration of faith. When you do, let it not be for approval or numbers. Let it be as though you're pressing your fingerprint on a covenant of light. It's your way of saying, I receive what heaven has prepared for me. Do it once with your heart wide open and know that it's seen. Because when you respond to divine words, you anchor them into your reality. Heaven always honors acknowledgement. Even your small actions echo louder than thunder in the spiritual realm. Now breathe deeply. The air around you is not ordinary. It's filled with the residue of grace. The angels that guard you have drawn nearer. You might sense warmth on your skin, a pulse in your palms, a shiver that isn't from cold. These are confirmations, not coincidences. You're being touched by something eternal. The future is not arriving tomorrow. It's unfolding right now. You're standing in the center of your own answered prayer, though your eyes are still adjusting to its brightness. You may not recognize it yet, because it doesn't look like what you imagined. But trust me, it's better. Heaven never returns something exactly the way you asked. It returns it perfected by wisdom. The connections meant for you will begin to appear. Conversations that once felt strained will open with ease. Even people who once misunderstood you will suddenly see you clearly. Not because they changed, but because your energy did. You're glowing differently now. When light shifts within, reality rearranges itself without. Your intuition will grow sharper. You will begin to feel direction rather than think it. The divine doesn't speak in volume. It speaks in vibration. The gentle pull you feel toward newness is not random. It's guidance. Follow it, even if it makes no sense to logic. The Spirit's map is drawn in invisible ink, only revealed as you walk forward. And if fear whispers that you are unworthy, remind it of everything you survived. Remind it that you have walked through fire and still speak love, that you have lost everything and still bless others, that you have been forgotten and still forgive. That is holiness in motion. That is what angels look like in human form. The world may not know your name yet, but heaven does. It has been spoken in the chambers of light, and the sound of it has the fragrance of victory. You were never a mistake. You were never behind. Every detour was redirection. Every heartbreak was a translation. Every season of waiting was an apprenticeship for destiny. There is no failure in you, only formation. Every closed door was a divine delay until your spirit matured enough to sustain the magnitude of what's coming. The delay was never denial, it was design. And what's coming now will not resemble what you lost, it will exceed it. You will be so overwhelmed by the grace that unfolds that your only response will be stillness. You will stop trying to make sense of it and simply marvel. The joy waiting for you doesn't demand explanation. It demands acceptance. Let the light soak through you. Let every breath be worship. Let every thought become gratitude. You are the living proof that heaven still walks the earth in human form. I can see now rays of golden light rising from the crown of your being, threads of silver weaving through your aura, symbols of promise burning faintly on your forehead. You don't need to see it to believe it. You're being written into eternity right now as I speak. When you wake tomorrow, you'll notice the air tastes different, the colors look softer, the moments stretch longer. That's the mark of transformation. The shift won't arrive with thunder. It will arrive with tenderness. And when doubt tries to creep back, remember this moment. Remember that you were chosen to hear these words, that you didn't stumble here by chance, that even time itself paused so heaven could speak your name again. Thank you for staying, for listening, for opening. Heaven does not speak where hearts are closed. You gave permission for the divine to breathe through you, and that is no small thing. Every second of your attention tonight has rewritten something unseen in your destiny. The sky above you holds a silence heavy with blessing. Somewhere in that stillness, your name is echoing between angels. They are carrying fragments of your light into futures you haven't reached yet, ensuring that wherever you go, preparation has already gone before you. So do not fear what comes next. Do not shrink from change. You are not losing yourself. You are uncovering yourself. The layers that fall away are not you. They're what you outgrew. Stand tall. Look up. The same heaven that shaped galaxies is watching you right now. Proud of you. Tender toward you. Ready to lead you where peace is permanent. Like this message, comment, amen, and subscribe, not for me, but for the divine record of this moment. Let your agreement echo through the heavens as a seal of faith. Let the angels who stand beside you mark it as done. And then simply live. Live as one who knows they are held. Live as one who no longer doubts their worth. Live as one who understands that being alive is itself proof of purpose. The blessing has already begun. The gates are open, and heaven is smiling through your eyes.